Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are starting right on time. And I saw some people requesting to record. This is all being recorded, and I will post a recording of this, of course. So you will all get a recording. So first of all, welcome, everyone. It's great to be here. And I do have my chat open, so you can write to me over here. And even now, just you can say hi or let me know that you can see me well and hear me well. And I'm very happy to be here with you for Anita writes, hi, Amir. So hi, Anita, and hi, everyone. Great to see you here. Hi, Stephen, Moazam, Rudesh. Hi, everyone. Great to be here. And I know some of you from previous trainings, and for anyone new here, my name is Amir. And I really believe that technology can make us better. So we are here to learn about technology. I love speaking about technology, and we have a lot coming up. So it's great to see you here. Please do turn on your cameras so that we can all see each other, and make sure you have something to write on, to take good notes. Today, we are speaking about taking or creating, really taking and creating great photos. This is the topic for today. I haven't trained about this at all until now, so this is the first time I'm doing this. It's going to be a light and fun training, and we have a lot coming up in November. I recently published my November calendar. So today is all about creating great photos. And then next week, pay attention, next week on Mondays, I'm running again my updated version of Mastering ChatGPT. It's an introduction to AI. And all of you have been with me in my previous sessions for Mastering ChatGPT. Then it'll be both a reminder for you and also some new things that I haven't spoken about before, because the world is AI. The world of AI is progressing very rapidly. And also next week, it's going to be 3 weeks consecutively on Wednesdays. It's going to be a completely new training, a new series that I call Digital Connections. Digital Connections, and it's all about how to connect with others in the digital age. I'm sure you will love this. We're going to talk about social media, how to find other people, how to follow people, how to produce our own content if we want to, how to create great memories, how to use Zoom, for example, so that we can communicate with others where you are hosting the Zoom call, unlike today where I'm hosting it, and many more things that are related to just being better connected to people who we care about. So this is Digital Connections, also starting next week. So there is a lot of activity and live trainings, and in between I'll be posting my YouTube videos and emailing about them. So you probably are getting many emails from me and all kinds of updates. This is all upcoming in November. Now, today we're going to talk about creating great photos. Creating great photos, and we're going to talk about 3 different topics. One is how to take great photos with your phone. Okay, so I have my Android phone here with me, and the same things that I will be showing on the Android apply for the iPhone. So we are going to talk about how to take great photos with some very, very important tips. And if any of you have taken photography classes or courses, then some of this will sound familiar to you. And I will repeat some very important concepts. And I will say this: I'm not a photographer myself. So I will be showing some of my photos, and I will be showing some other photos that were taken professionally. And I will say a few words also about why we don't really need to be professionals. However, we want to make use of what technology can help us with, which I've been doing for a long time when taking photos. So I will. The first section is us talking about just making good use of our smartphones. Excuse me. And then the second topic for today is about enhancing photos. So we will be using one app only, which is available both for iPhone and for Android, and it works exactly the same on both devices, which is Google Photos. Google Photos. Now, there are many, many different apps for manipulating photos, but I will highly recommend Google Photos, and we'll go into Google Photos and discuss about how we can take our photos and enhance them. And then lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about AI and how to use our own photos to create new creations that weren't there before. So we're going to create some very nice photos with AI. And in fact, it's not going to be a full AI training about photos. I'm going to show you an example that's very recent, something that came out really recently. I'm very excited about it, so I'll share it with you. And this is how I created my my photo with a nice bear standing next to me. So I'll tell you a bit about that, and we'll have a lot more about AI coming next week when I do my free series, Mastering ChatGPT, an introduction to AI. Okay, so let's get started. I see many have joined us since we started. Do get a pen and paper so that you can take great notes. And we are diving into some really amazing ways to create beautiful photos with your smartphones. Now, these phones today, okay, I'm holding up my phone, and it may look very, very simple. You know, you have the camera app on your phone. It looks very simple. You click the camera, and then you click a button or the little circle, and you take a photo. But today, phones have become amazingly powerful. It's really nothing short of amazing. And I really recommend you have your phone with you. You can use the iPhone or the Android. It doesn't matter for this session, just to try out a few of the things that I will be speaking about. And those of you who have actually learned about photography and, like I said, in classes in the past, there are differences. There are differences in digital devices like an iPhone compared to just a regular camera. Okay, so an Android or an iPhone compared to a camera, these are different. So I'll explain the differences and some very important things to know about these two. I use my phone all the time to take photos. Like I said, I'm not a professional photographer, so what I share here is all meant for you to have fun and to be really expressive. Now, why is this important? Why am I spending this time speaking about photos? Everyone knows we can, take our phone and turn on the camera and take photos. Well, to me, this is a lot more than just using the phone better, because everyone here, you have a unique perspective. You have a unique perspective, and I really believe we can really amplify our perspective and get our perspective out there better when we know how to use creative technology. And I look at the phone and the camera as another piece of creative technology. So the same way as I've done trainings on, we just recently had a complete series called Creative Adventure. Some of you were with me on that. We have tools like AI and Canva, and now we have the phone, and we have all of these tools that help us create. So I really see this as something creative and something unique, and you can really take something that's ordinary and turn it into something really, really extraordinary. So I think this is very important, and also I don't necessarily think that any photo that you take is just for sharing with others. First and foremost, I'll tell you, most of the photos I take are just for my own memories. And every photo that you take, and if you, I really want you to note this down, every photo tells a story. It can be a family member, it can be a place where you've been, it can just be your morning coffee. Every little bit that we can take as a photo, it tells a story. So I think also this session that we are having, I think it's to encourage you to take more photos and to create more memories, even if it's the mundane, regular things that we have in daily life. Everything here is a memory, and even if we don't share it with others, then it's a memory. Okay, this is a memory of with the photo that I took yesterday. Okay, I went to a flower market, and I took this photo, and you can see the entire market from start to finish. I was right at the center of the market, I think, and I took this complete photo. Now, we're already going to do a short exercise because this is called a panoramic photo. Okay, you will see this photo is very, very wide. Let me show you it maybe larger on your computers when you are watching this. I'll just share it again. This is how it really looks. It's a very wide, photo. Now, this panoramic photo is very, very similar to what we used to have in regular cameras, okay, where we use the wide angle lens. If you remember, okay, some of you have these cameras, I know, okay, yeah, if you still are using these cameras, you can write in the chat. You would take your camera, you would take off the lens, right, and then you would take your special wide angle lens and put it in there so that it captures this entire wide view. With the phone, you don't need a special lens to take this type of panoramic photo. Okay, it's called a panoramic photo. It's the equivalent of a wide angle. Sandra, I still have mine. Yes, and I have nothing against the classic cameras. They are great. I used to take a lot of photos, even with real film in there, not digital, and they're wonderful. But today we can achieve really amazing results. And I want to share with you how to take this wide angle photo with your device. So what I'll do is I'll switch over now to share my phone, and I really recommend you're welcome to do this with me. So let me share my my phone for a second. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so now you can see the screen of my phone, and I'll click the camera. Okay, so the camera turns on. You can see my camera. Okay, this is the room I'm in. Okay, this is my computer over here. Okay, and this is the room. Now I want to take a panoramic photo of this room. Okay, so I want to do that. To do that, okay, at the bottom over here, okay, you'll see all kinds of options. Now, if you're on the iPhone, one of the options will say pano or panoramic, okay, and you can take your finger and just move it from right to left. So I can go over here, slide to the right. Now it's in portrait mode, okay, and now in Android there is fun mode. Okay, fun mode. If you go to fun mode and you look at your face, you'll see all kinds of effects. Add your mustache or whatnot, but we don't want to do that right now. Okay, I can go to video mode. Okay, and I can go to more. So once I click more, I see more options. On the iPhone, it's a bit different. There isn't more, but there is a panorama option. So I'll click now. You see over here, it says panorama. And you can do it with me together. Okay, I click panorama, and then I point my phone somewhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the circle at the bottom, and then I'm going to start panning the camera. So I'll click the circle, okay, and it starts, and now I'm starting to pan, okay? Look what happens. You can see it on my phone screen. Okay, I'm just panning. It's not taking a video. What it does is very smartly, it takes everything that I see and it combines it into a single photo. Now I'll click stop at the bottom. Okay, and that's it. Now I'll click the little circle over here to see what I got. And I have a wide angle view of the room. Okay, a wide angle view of the room. You can do it right now. Click the panoramic button, and then you just slide it. You start, you slide it, and it works, of course, in a room. Yeah, you just see the entire room. But if you're out in nature, you can take amazing, amazing photos using the panoramic view, and then use it quite a lot. So if we want to see the end result, then this is an example. I took it just before our session right now, but this is a wide angle view of the room. Now, unlike the regular camera with the wide angle lens, if you've been using wide angle lenses, you know that it distorts the image. So there is some distortion here, but it's a lot less. So it's a much more realistic picture, realistic photo. This is an example. I was recently in Provence in France, and this is a beautiful town called Gordes in France, and this was taken same way, panoramic view. So I took my camera and I rotated it to take the panoramic view. Okay, so tell me in the chat if you found it, and if you think this is going to be useful for you. It's important for me always to know that these things are. I see here Kate working with your phone. Excellent. I love it. Now, this is an example of a picture I took. Now, I'll tell you something. When I was there in real life, then it was a much more vibrant scene. Anything that you see with your eyes, it looks different in reality. So your Jackie writes, yes, it worked. Excellent. Yeah, I think it's a great option. Anita writes, yes, it's great. Already use Pano a lot. Yeah, I recommend you use it. You use it a lot. Now, I do want to remember this photo much more vividly. So now take a look at my at my screen or your screen, and you'll see this is the original image I took, and this is with way better colors. Okay, way better colors. Okay, much more vibrant, and this was used by enhancing the photo, which I'll show you soon. So this is a regular panoramic photo, and this is when it's enhanced, and we can use our phones to enhance photos as well. And we're going to look at it shortly. Okay, Ozam writes, I knew about it, but never used it. Okay, great. So this whole idea for us is an exploration, and if you've been with me with in other training sessions, that that I really push you to explore. There are more options in our camera beyond panoramic. There are other options there, and it's always worth really exploring. Okay, let me just clear the drawings from here because I have a drawing on my board, and let me disable the drawing so that this doesn't happen by mistake. Okay, so we're soon going to look at how to enhance photos, and also when we do that, there is going to be many different options. Okay, but before we do that, we want to look at more tips for great photos. So one tip was to use the panoramic option, and you can really get all these scenes in. The first tip is going to be very obvious, but only when I say it. Very obvious, only when I say it, because not many people do that. And this is the first tip, and it is this: clean your camera lens. Okay, we use our phones, and you see this camera, we touch it all the time, and it's in our pocket, and it goes with us. Okay, all you need to do if you want great photos or better photos is to take a piece of cloth, okay, and just wipe it. Okay, you can look at my screen, wipe it, or you can actually use your shirt or sweater and give it a good wipe. If you have glasses like I do, and you have these cleaning cloths, the best option. So first, clean your lens, okay? And the difference can be dramatic. So over here on the left, you see just a beautiful photo, but with just smudged, dirty lens, and completely different when it's wiped clean. So however obvious it is, it's always worth remembering, clean your camera lens. And in fact, when you look through, when we hold our phone and we take a photo, and we are always looking at what we are taking a picture of, and we won't notice many times that our lens are not clean. So this is the first tip, very, very obvious, but many people just skip it altogether. Now, the next tip is a very, very famous rule in photography, and it's called the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds. And our natural tendency when we take a photo of something is to look at our subject and just put it in the middle of the frame. It turns out that these photos are not so interesting. Not so interesting. Of course, you can compose, and if you've learned a bit about photography, then there is a complete topic that I won't cover. And like I said, I'm not a professional photographer, but there is a complete topic of composition. If you do a search about composition rules for photos, you'll find a lot, plenty of material about it. But a very basic rule is this rule of thirds. Now, this is a photo that I didn't take. Okay, it's some of the photos here in our presentation are from websites of real, we'll call them real photographers. But when we have such great technology at our hands, I think we are real photographers as well. But the idea here is this: we want to place our subject in the third, or even in the intersection of thirds of our frame, rather than putting the subject right in the middle. If it's a bit off to the side, the eye senses, or the brain senses this as a more aesthetic photo. So if we are looking for not just the memory, but to have it as aesthetic as possible, then we want to remember this rule of thirds. Now, there's a very nice tool after we take a photo that can help us. Even if you have photos that you have already taken and you want to give them a better composition, we are going to use one of the tools that's in our editing app. So even before we go into enhancing photos, I want to introduce this app, which is Google Photos. So let's get to know the Google Photos editing tools. And the one tool in there really helps us with this idea of the rule of thirds. And it's called the crop tool. Okay, so I'm going to switch over again to my phone, and I'm going to go into Google Photos, and I'm going to pull up one of the images in Google Photos, and we'll get to know the tools in there. I'll return to them afterwards with some enhancement tools. But we'll start with the crop just to show this rule of thirds. And like I said, it works in Android and on iPhone as well. So let me go back to my phone. Okay, this is my phone. And over here, I'll go into Google Photos. So I have my Photos app over here, and I'll click it. Okay, you go back. These are all photos that I have in Google Photos. Now I'll select this image. In fact, it comes from a photography website, but I did choose this image, even though it was taken by a photographer. I chose this image because this is where we see the subject right in the middle. And we want to make this more interesting and more pleasant to the eye. Now, at the bottom over here, you'll see all kinds of tools. One of them, the most important, which we are going to look at just in a bit, is the Edit tool. So if I click Edit, I get all kinds of options. All kinds of options. I won't touch any of the options now besides the Crop option over here at the bottom. So if I click Crop, it's showing me these 4 dots. And I can take these 4 dots, and then with my finger, I hold my finger and I can drag it. Now what you'll see happen, you can try it on your phone on any photo. Okay, you go into Google Photos, select any photo, go to the tools, and then go to crop. And then whenever I touch this, you see these lines appear. It works on the iPhone as well. So whenever I crop, this is by the way, not by chance, it was planned that way. So when they planned the app, they planned it so that it's easy for me to just crop the image and place my subject exactly where I want it. Okay, here. Now it's right on the left third. And then I click Save Copy. So it saves a copy to my device. Okay, got it. Save the copy. I can go back. Okay, and I should have the copy in there. Let me quickly find the copy in there. Yeah, here it is. It was in a different folder. So now I have the copy of the photo, and to us as viewers, this is way more interesting or more pleasant to watch than the subject in the middle of the frame. Of course, this original photo was taken by a photographer. There is a reason that that photographer chose to put the subject in the middle. But when we take pictures, we just take pictures all day long. We can then use the crop tool. Once again, you go to Edit in Google Photos, and then you choose Crop over here, and it allows us to crop exactly how we want it, and it shows us the lines which help us with the rule of thirds. Okay, so this is something that's very, very useful to remember. Okay, so so this is another tool, but it's not only the tool, it's really what we use it for, to create a really good composition. Okay, so this is how the crop tool helps us, and we took this opportunity to also see how to get into Google Photos and editing photos. Okay, we'll go back to it shortly. Okay, so more tips. Let's look at some more tips for great photos. The next tip is try as much as you can not to use zoom, not to use the zooming in. Okay, when I speak of zoom, I mean the zoom in on our phones. Okay, so when you open your camera, you can, with your fingers, okay, you can zoom in, zoom out. Try not to zoom in, because what it does, it's a digital zoom. If you want something close up, the best option is to really get close to it as much as you can. Okay, I see a comment was all right. So it does not happen in gallery. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying or asking, but when I used the crop tool, I did it within Google Photos. You might have a gallery app on your phone that's different than Google Photos. Okay, most apps that I've encountered with the crop, they give you these crop lines which help with the composition. Okay, so if this is what you're referring to, this is why I really recommend Google Photos. They really did a good job. Okay, so back to our current tip: get close instead of zooming in. Now, I will show you an example. I was at the flower market. I took this photo, and I actually wanted to zoom in on this particular area right in the middle. Now, I'll show you two options. One is zoomed in with a digital zoom, which means the photo is taken from a distance, but I zoom in. That's the one on the right. And on the left is a photo of that I took when I was actually close up. I came close up with my camera, and immediately you can see. Hopefully, you can see it through my presentation, but you can see that this is way more crisp. So try to avoid zooming in. Try to avoid zooming in. The digital zoom is much less in quality than actually stepping close. Okay, so as long as you can do that, step close. Of course, if you're taking a wide scenic view from far away and you want to focus on a particular hill or something like that, then of course you'll use the zoom, but try to refrain from it. The next tip is natural light. Natural light. We are all right now, or most of us at least, are in a room, and we are not in natural light. So the tip says these are not the best optimal places to take great photos. And once again, outside natural light, you'll get way better results. This is a photo that was taken with light, what's called front light. Okay, light coming from the front. Light can come from the side. So this is taken from the side. And still, even though half the photo is in the shade, it still creates a great looking photo because of the natural light. So whenever you can, if you are even in a room, and if it's daylight, and you can open the window and have the sun shining, usually light from the sun would give us better results than artificial light or even our camera's flash. Okay, this is another photo I took in France. It was on our way to a different village. Once again, it's just nature, and this photo wasn't edited at all, wasn't enhanced at all. These are the original colors from the photo. Again, it's a panoramic photo, and it's just natural light. And whenever we have natural light, then we get way better results. Now, before we go into enhancing photos, which I want to share with you, okay, I have a couple of more tips. So it's really one tip, I would say, and it's about how to hold your camera. Okay, I said a couple of tips because we all got explanations on how to hold a real camera, the real camera version, although our smartphones are real cameras. So you might find all kinds of instructions on how to hold the camera so that it doesn't wobble and it doesn't go out of focus. And but this is not really useful for smartphones. And the reason is, if you look at my camera, then if this is the phone, Okay, this is not how we take photos with the iPhone or the Android. We don't put it right on our faces and look through the viewfinder. Okay, no more. So most of the tips you'll get about how to hold a regular camera are not really relevant for a smartphone, except one, okay, which is here on the right, which says lean in, use walls for stability. If you can find somewhere where you are more stable, yes, it will make you more stable, okay? But there is the smartphone version of how to get stability. Not many people know this. Not many people know this. It works, again, both on the iPhone and the Android, and it's called locking the focus. Locking the focus. And you'll see that every time you start taking a photo, if you hold your finger on the subject and you hold it for just a second, then it'll lock the zoom. And then this allows you to take a much more stable photo. This is why technology is so helpful for us. Okay, so let's do an example. I'll go to my camera on my, let me switch again the view to my Android phone. Okay, so this is my phone, and I'll now click the camera. I'll take a very boring picture. Okay, it's going to be just my microphone over here. I don't want to be in panorama mode, by the way. It's still in panorama, so I'll just use the regular photo. Now I'm taking my finger, okay, and I'm now holding it against the microphone over here. And you'll see there is this circle with a lock. So now it knows wherever I move my phone, it knows that this is what I want to focus on. Okay, on the Android, there is this another option over here. Let me do that again. I click, and at the bottom, it actually allows me another option. This is not on the iPhone. This is on the Android. It allows me to change the brightness, okay, as I do this. But the important thing is I hold it, and then it's really in focus, and then I take it. Okay, so now I have the photo. I've taken the photo, and if I want, I can go back to my Google Photos and look at this photo that I took. Once again, if I want to make it even more interesting or better composed, I can click on Edit, go to Crop, and once again, find the best position for it right here. Okay, so now it's better looking. Okay, save copy. This is just going back to that example. But the nice thing is you hold your finger before you start taking the photo, and it gives you the option of locking the focus. And it does a really, really good job at doing that. So we want to, when we are trying to get the iPhone or the smartphone, the Android phone, the smartphone version of locking focus is really long clicking, and then we are keeping the focus where we want to, and it really helps with stability. Okay, it's great to see all of you who have your cameras really looking at your phone and trying out these features. That's excellent. Okay, I see we have time flying by, so I want to go into some more Google Photos magic and see how we can use Google Photos for even making our photos better. Okay, we're going to look at a few things. I'll list them over here, and then I'll go again into my phone. We're going to look at changing brightness and contrast, which are two very important parameters, we can say, or features of a photo. We can change the color, and in Google Photos, there are very, very, very good two great options for enhancing, which are called Color Pop and Vignette. So I want to show you these. Now there are more options there, and Google Photos is really, there are many, many different options in there. Some use AI, some are open for all users, some are open for those of you who have paid versions of Google Drive. But I'm focusing on the basics, which are available everywhere. So let's go back to back to Google Photos. I'll already open. I'll go back to my phone, and I'll open one of the photos. This actually, I had a training. You can see it in my, I think, in my YouTube videos about Google Lens. And this is one of the photos that I took. Now I want to make it a better photo. Now I'm not going to use crop. It's true, this flower is in the middle of the frame. We'll keep it in the middle of the frame, but we want to enhance it. So what I do is I go to Edit over here at the bottom, click Edit, and then it gives me all kinds of options. Now on the top over here, it's the AI version or the automatic version. I don't want to go into these suggestions right now. I do recommend you explore it for yourselves. I really recommend that, okay? What I will do is I'll scroll at the bottom and I'll go to Adjust. Adjust is the basic, the most common places or the most common features for adjusting photos. And you'll see these options that I spoke about. One is brightness. So if I click brightness, it gives me this slider where I can change the brightness of the entire photo. So if it was a bit dark, which it was, I can make it a bit lighter. Okay. The next one says contrast. So I'll click on contrast. Now, contrast, it takes the same colors, but it makes the difference between light and bright, makes it bigger. So if I take contrast up, you see it makes everything more vivid. If I take it down, okay, it loses contrast and it looks much more flat. So I'll take it up again, and then it becomes with way more contrast. Already it's looking better. Now, what Google have added, and now I'll scroll a little bit. There are more things that you can do here. Okay, I'll scroll a little bit. Okay, and we're getting to the color section. Okay, now color has also a number of options. One is called saturation. Okay, I'll slide my ruler and you see the colors are becoming deeper. So it means more saturated. Okay, I can play with that. I'll leave it at 0 for now. Okay, if I go to warmth, okay, this decides for me if I'm going to see the photo as more red or more blue, warm or cold. So if I make it warmer, you see all of it is becoming redder. So now it's a lot redder. Okay, let me go back to 0. Okay, and there are other options. Okay, this is a tint. Okay, so you see it's a different type of color version. Okay, I'll bring it back to 0, and you can really play with this and find the exact just the exact color that you like. But what I want to show you now are these two other options. One is a color pop and the other is vignette, okay, which they have added. One is the color pop. And if I click pop, then you'll see what happens, okay? What it does, it takes and makes the deep color deeper, the deeper colors deeper. And vignette, finally, if I go all the way to the right, by the way, I know I'm doing this a bit quickly, but the idea is for you to then go and explore. Now, vignette is very nice. If I choose vignette, you'll see that I can slide and I can get just around the image, I can get this this halo effect, the darker halo from around, and this looks like the older photos. And if you have old photo albums, you'll see this naturally happening in old photos. You'll see this darkening on the sides, and this brings it more of a memory kind of look. And then when I click done, I can save a copy. Okay, then I click save copy, and now I have a new image of this same flower with much more vivid colors and this vignette around it. And this is something I might want to keep or share with others. Okay, so now you are welcome. Anita writes, how do you get to these options? No probs, got it now. Okay, so I will, for the benefit of everyone, I will go again, and this is in Google Photos. I open a photo, and right at the bottom over here, where it says edit, is where you get to these options. Okay, so edit gives me all kinds of options, but at the bottom, I go to adjust. These are the main options. Okay, once I go to adjust, then I get all of these options. And like I said, it works the same on the Android and on the iPhone because it's the same app. It's Google Photos. Now, you might be using your phone's regular photo app, which will have different options. Okay, the reason I'm showing Google Photos is that we're all speaking on of the same app and seeing the same options over there. Okay, so it's a wonderful tool for adjusting photos, and this is I'll go back to my presentation, and this is what I used actually to take this this image that I shared with you right in the beginning of gold and just enhance it so that the colors are much more vivid. This is the exact type of work that I did just in Google Photos. Now, by the way, if you are using Google Photos on your computer, all of the options are there as well. So you can go online to photos.google.com and you'll find everything in there. The same options appear in Google Photos. Maybe the newer AI options are some of them might be on the phone that are not on the desktop, but I believe you'll find most of them on the desktop. Okay, so we're nearly out of time for today, but I did want to share with you and show you some exploration of how to create photos, but not the regular type or things that you may have seen in other trainings of how to create AI photos. I really want to share with you something that's really new, and it's creating photos with AI, but using our own photo originals. Okay, so this is a part of AI image generation, and like I said, next week I'm starting a completely new series of mastering ChatGPT and an introduction to AI, where I'm showing not only ChatGPT, but I'm showing also AI art and a lot more about image generation. So today it's just something to show you something that's very, very new. And I'm going to, for today's example, I'm going to show you Midjourney. Okay, Midjourney is one of the best tools for creating AI imagery. It's important to know that it is a paid tool, so you have to have a Midjourney account to use Midjourney. So I do have a Midjourney account. You can actually have an account and create a few photos for free with Midjourney, but then it's very limited. You can view what other people have created in Midjourney, and just explore what people have created. Let me share my screen now and show you these new options. So this is Midjourney. Okay, you can see here all kinds of images people have created with AI. And like I said, if you're interested, please do join me next week as well. And you'll see some of these are really, really photographic. So this cat doesn't, it doesn't look like an illustration. It looks like a real photo. Some of them, or this horse, okay, or this woman over here. Some of them obviously are illustrations like this one. Now, what they did recently is they added an editor, okay? And like I said, if you go into Midjourney and you don't have a paid account, then you won't see that option, but you need to have a paid version of Midjourney. But I do want to show you this because I think it's really, really, really interesting. Let me start a new one completely. And I can use my own image. So I can click edit uploaded image, and I'll use this image of myself somewhere outside. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this bar over here, slide it to the right, and I'm going to tell Midjourney to expand this photo. Okay, so I'll just write over here. Okay, beautiful landscape. Okay, and I'll submit and edit. Now it's going to edit this photo. It's going to only edit this part, but based on the entire image. It's going to try to expand the image to show more. Okay, now it's going to take it a few seconds. It's showing it's already 15%, 31%. You can see over here on the top, and it's going to give us a few options, and it's going to be very, very realistic. Now, if you are looking for free tools that do that, then you may have heard me train about Leonardo AI. They have a version that's free. Midjourney is a bit better, in my opinion. Okay, so we have some options over here, okay, that Midjourney created. Now, the first three, they actually kind of look like an illustration. The last one I like the most. Okay, so I would use that. Okay, so it added to this original, it added more scenery. Okay, turns out I have a river behind me, and it really, really looks looks real. Okay, so now I shared with you. Have you seen the bear example? Okay, with the bear putting its paw on my shoulder. We can try to recreate that. We don't necessarily need to use a bear, but we will do that anyway. What it allows me, Midjourney allows me to draw over here. This is the area I want to change. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask Midjourney, okay, a man, all right, a man with a bear, putting its paw on the man's shoulder. Okay, let's go with man with a bear, its mouth open, putting its paw on the man's shoulder. Submit, edit. It's going to try to create something. Now, with AI, you might need to do a few trials. Okay, I got it prompted, flagged by AI moderator. Sorry, try a different prompt. Okay, let's use putting its hand. Okay. Sometimes it has problems with specific words. No, it's not letting me. A man with a bear. Okay, let's go. A man with a bear. Okay, just like that. That shouldn't cause any problems. Just to save time, I'm not going to really insist to get the exact prompt as I had the other one. But you sometimes need to play with it. It's actually a very new system by Midjourney. So I've been getting this message of unallowed prompt from time to time. I'm guessing they'll make it better. So soon we'll see that. Okay, I will read some comments. How much is the paid version? Okay, here I see a version with the bear. Let's we'll look at some more version. The paid version, I believe it's about $8 a month in dollars. And instead of Midjourney, can you do it with Canva? Well, I'm less familiar with the AI options in Canva. Okay, they are adding more and more options all day long. Adobe have created similar options in Photoshop. So yes, there are other options. Okay, this is another bear option. This is nice. Okay, not so great. I actually like the first and second ones better. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Okay, now I could, by the way, I could erase everything around me. Okay, this is an example actually that Midjourney give in one of their examples. Can erase everything. This will be our last example for today. I'll erase everything. I'm just keeping my face, and let's use the rule of thirds. I'll add some space at the bottom over here. And let's write an artist in his studio. So now it's going to keep my face. It's going to create an artist in his studio. Steven writes $8 to $10. Yes, I think it's $8 to $10 a month for Midjourney. It's not it's quite amazing. These tools are really not expensive. They're not expensive, and the amount we spend on daily stuff every month is a lot higher than that. And I have a few things that I pay for. One of them is ChatGPT. The other one is Midjourney. I don't know if there are many others, but these are two tools that I use a lot and I pay for happily. And I really believe technology really can make our lives much, much better. So here is myself as an artist. This is another version. This is another one. This is the last one. I don't know which one I prefer the most. Probably the first one. Probably the first one. So again, an example. It's if you've seen enough AI images, you would recognize this is AI with these trees behind me, okay, or my hands over here. But yeah, generally very nice, very nice, and this is very new, and we're going to see a lot more of this as time goes on. And like I said, we are meeting very soon again, and I will have a lot more to say about AI and about AI art. So you are invited to join me. Before we wrap up, I'll just remind everyone our schedule for what's upcoming. So next week I start Mastering ChatGPT. It's going to be on Mondays, same time as today, the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. And then on Wednesdays, 13th, the 20th, and 27th, it's going to be my new training, Digital Connections. So whoever wants to join that, you can do that as well. Okay, so so this is what I have for you today. I'll read some more of your comments. Slavika writes, a very skinny artist. Yes, a very skinny artist. Kate writes, do you know of any free AI tools that can do voiceover for animation videos? Well, there is first of all 11 Labs, and they have a free version. If you really need long audios, then yeah, then they have a paid version, but you can try, or you can start with 11 Labs. And in fact, you'll be surprised, but you can take your text and put it into a Google Docs, a regular Google Docs, and in tools you'll find dictation tools that can read out the words, and I can expand on other tools, but even if you do a search for exactly that phrase, voiceover, AI voiceover, you'll find many options. Okay. Anita writes, many thanks, Amir. That was so good. Thank you, Anita. Sandra writes, thank you. Thank you, Sandra. Mel writes, that was so interesting. Thank you, Mel. Very interesting. Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Stephen. Slavika, yes, see you next Monday. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Rama. Nice seeing all of you. And if you're thank you, Robert. If you are new to this, then you'll see that I do many different trainings, and November is full of trainings, so you are welcome to join me. So thank you very much. Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you, Mazam. And I will see you very soon. Have a great day, everyone. Let me just stop my sharing so that I can see all of you. And bye-bye for now. See you later. Bye-bye.